Hello, people, and welcome. In this video, we are looking at four four things that destroys every relationship. Four relationship destroyers. Four things. They are just four that destroys every relationship. And what I mean by this, I'm not talking about a relationship that has to do with a narcissist. No, narcissists are people who does not know how to build any relationship, and they have a problem having relationship or engaging in or forming any kind of relationship at all. So when you are talking about, we are excluding the narcissist, because narcissists are people who cannot be in any kind of relationship. Even if they started from the beginning normally, at some point it will become dysfunctional. In fact, it don't even get to any place far before it becomes dysfunctional. So when we are talking about these ones, we are excluding them completely, because you cannot. We are in this situation. We are talking of normal people. Remember, narcissists are dysfunctional people. Dysfunctional people take their dysfunction to any place, so they can't be in any healthy situation without messing it up. So we are moving them completely out of it. It's not about narcissists, it's about normal people. And in fact, the people that create these things that destroys every relationship are actually the narcissists. Because we are dealing with normal people. They will understand that when you have done something that you know is not right to someone, the best thing to do is to amend, to apologize, or do something that will kind of tell the person that you recognize that thing that you did. You recognize the thing that you did, and you understand that it wasn't right, and so you have come to make an amend. So that is what normal people will do. But with narcissists, they don't feel remorseful for anything. They feel entitled to hurt your feelings. They feel entitled to prey on people. They feel entitled to do anything they want to anybody. And they don't even apologize. They do it with reckless abandon. They don't apologize. They don't feel anything. Because narcissists see people as tools to be used. So that's why they don't even when they apologize, just know that it's not genuine. It's not genuine apology. They are just saying it because maybe they feel they just want to, there's something more they are looking at to gain from you. So they just want to say it to make you feel that they are perhaps, but they are actually not feeling sorry for you. They don't feel anything. They don't feel that they have done anything back to you, because they see it as a right for them to hurt you. So they hurt people without feeling anything. They have no sympathy. When you have no empathy for someone, you can't feel anything for them. You can do anything you like, and you can hurt their feelings without even caring about how it goes down with them, how they feel about it. So that is narcissist for you. So we're talking about these fraud relationship destroyers. We're actually referring to normal people and in normal relationships, not excluding the narcissist completely. So they're actually four. Just four of them. One is blame, criticism, judgment, and condemnation. They are just four. And it also includes even the relationship we have with our children. Take for instance, when you start any relationship, you did not start it based on this, and there's no one who will foresee or see this kind of somebody exuding all this kind of energies, and then will want to mess themselves with the person. Everybody wants to be praised in a healthy manner. I mean praise, a healthy praise, not a flattering kind of thing. What you mean, something that you mean it and you are doing it genuinely. That's what we are talking about. As in, you see something in the person that is worth acknowledging, and so you acknowledge it. Everybody wants to be validated. You see, that is what keeps us going. When we feel validated, we feel that we matter, we feel that someone cares, and someone sees that We actually matter, and there's that we deserve certain things that should be accorded to us. You see, when we say that, when we feel that people feel that way towards us, and they also show it, you know, we can see that that's what they feel, and they exhibit that, and we can see it. You see, all that keeps us going. So that's why people want to feel valued, because it makes them feel a sense of belonging. It feels that people out there care. You know, there are people who want to see that they are okay, who want to push them forward, who want to see that their existence matters to them. You see, that's how we feel validated, when we know that there are people who actually feels that we matter. You see, so if you want to be approved of, we want to be approved of and acknowledged, like we have done some things, certain things, and you know, people are encouraged to do more things when they can see that people appreciate what they are doing. If you are doing something and not, we are the people who give things value. We give people value, we give things value. Nothing will have a meaning if we don't give it a meaning. If something is happening and we all turn away, nobody cares, nobody even looked at it, that thing will die a natural death. Because is even a common science theory, and it's also a biblical theory. Anything you focus on expands. Anything you give your attention, you place your focus, that thing is going to expand. You see, anything you think, you look at, as you are looking at it, this is a science. This is even a theory of a motor, a scientist who is called a motor. When a motor carry out an experiment using water crystals, you see, a motor pour water in crystals and projected emotions to the water. In the He kept three crystals. The three crystals, the first one, he projected emotions of love to it. The second one, hate. And the third one, love, hate, and indifference also. So in the experiment, he discovered that the crystals that he projected love, they blossom. They were very beautiful. They all came out very beautiful. And the ones of hate were ugly. You know, they were useless. And the one of indifference, I think it's indifference also. So that's how you find out, you see that anything that you relate with, if you relate with that thing, it responds. It responds to your emotion, it responds to your energy. If nobody is looking at it, it will just die a natural death. But people are focusing on it, it begins to blossom, it begins to expand, it begins to grow more and more. So it's the same thing with our own human reactions, with our emotions too as well. When you are being validated, when you are being approved of, you are being acknowledged, you see, there is this tendency that you are going to expand, you are going to do better, you are going to continue to do it more. It's a kind of encouragement. It's kind of people's approval and validation kind of encourage us to do more. So when people appreciate what you're doing, they acknowledge it, they approve of it, and they appreciate it, you are going to do more, you are going to expand, you will have the energy to even do more of that thing. But when you do it and nobody cares, everybody is looking away, it's as if nothing exists there, nothing is happening, that thing will just die a natural death. If it's a human being, will not even have the interest to continue in that thing again. You begin to lose interest. But if it's other things, even if it's the emotion you are projecting, if nothing is happening, it will not work. But you see, we are the ones who give things meaning by our focus, by our attention, our approval, our acknowledgement, and our appreciation. We give those things meanings. So the same thing goes with the relationship we have with the people around us, including the relationship we have with our own children. If at all times you are blaming, maybe a child take a child for example. A child does something, and instead of you to correct that child, show the child the right way to go, you are blaming, you are shouting at that child, you know, you are condemning that child. You say all manner of things that are hurtful to that person. You see, that person is gradually, the person is, the first time the person may say endure you, the second time, the third time, your energy becomes toxic to them. And so they will not be able to relate with you anymore. They will begin to move away because the energy you are exuding is kind of pulling them down, it's disempowering them. And so they will not be able to relate with you again. When you are condemning them, whatever they do, all you see is condemn. You don't see anything to appreciate, or you only see something to condemn. You see, they will not be able to relate with you. They won't be able to, because you are blaming, you're condemning, you are judging. You see, when something, instead of you to look, find out what that thing is actually trying to tell you, or what you need to learn, because some of the things that happen, they happen for our own evolution, they happen for us to learn and to grow. But we don't look at things at that perspective. We only see everything as a problem, even when it's not supposed to be a problem. It's something that is meant to grow us. It's something that we are meant to learn some lessons from it, or it's something that happened for us to step into it and get to our next best versions. We don't see it at that. We don't see it based on that. We only see everything that comes to us, both positive and negative problem. You see, so when all that is happening and we are focusing, all we can see is to judge, is to see what we can judge in the situation. The only thing we can see is judgment, something that something that we can judge, not something that we can ponder and ask ourselves what is trying to teach us. What is judgment? Or if it's the human being, whatever the person does, we judge. We will judge the person from A to B. We don't see the one that is right. We don't see that, okay, perhaps the person just needs to do a little more, or maybe to add our own voice so that it can be better. We only judge it. Every time we are judging it, you come across the person you are judging. If it's a child, you are judging. An adult, you are judging. Your friend, you are judging. Everyone is all about judgment, judgment, and judgment. So if you are ruminating with all those kind of energies, of course, gradually they will start moving, because all the things that comes from you are things that tear them down. And you can't be tearing somebody down. The person will want to hang on for a long time. No. If you are in the habit of judging and judging and judging, the person will not feel comfortable. And so the next thing, they start pulling away. Gradually, they start pulling away. When you are coming, they are turning away, or they are dodging. They did not see you, you know, that kind of why? Because we are always judging and judging and judging. You see, condemn, we blame, we judge, you know. All these energies are things that tears every relationship, any form of relationship, excluding the relationship. I'm not talking of narcissists in this case, but normal relationships is all these things, these four things: blame, condemnation, judgment, and criticism. But we like criticizing a lot. We are always we don't turn inward to see the ones we are doing. We only look, we are always outward, looking for the ones other people are doing to criticize them. Even the Bible you are reading is telling you that you should see the one inside of you first. Remove it so that you can see clearly, see another person's own. But we don't do that. We are not concerned about it. Even though we make noise so much about God and Bible, we don't relate it to the things we are doing. We are always seeing the things in others to judge, but we don't see the ones in ourselves to judge. We see the ones in others to criticize. We don't see the ones in ourselves to criticize. We see the ones in others to blame. We don't see the ones in ourselves to blame. We see the ones in others to judge, but we don't see our own, the ones we are doing to first of all judge ourselves. You see, because we are always going outward, outward, outward. We don't look inward to see if we have these things. And you don't even understand any principle. We don't know that all the things we think, before you can see it, if it exists in another person, that means it also exists in you. It exists in you, but we are always pointing fingers. But we don't look at our own the ones we are doing. We look for someone to, everyone is blaming someone, but no one is looking inward to see if those things you are seeing, anything you see in your neighbor is a reflection of you. Anything you are seeing in A is your own reflection you are seeing. If you can see that we are all one, if you can see that humanity is one, we belong to one place and we come from one place. See all this separation they are creating are just things of the ego that ends here. We are all one. There is oneness in humanity, you see, but it is the ego that is always pointing you outward to see the wrongs in others without seeing that, so that the separation will continue. If you can see that we are all one, you will be able to see that what exists in A exists in B. What exists in that person also exists in you. But we have allowed the duality, the polarity that operates in this world, to blindfold us so that we don't see that A is a reflection of you. That person you are looking at is a reflection of you. But we're always going outward to see the ones that are wrong in them so that we continue to create that separation to say this one is less, this one is more, you are better, that one is not. You are better than that one. You are more than that one. This one is not qualified. That one is qualified. You see, the reason why we blame, we judge, we criticize, and condemn, because we don't see others as a reflection of us. We don't see that what is in them is also in us. And so we should first of all look inward to solve it before we can see clearly what is in them, and then embrace them with that their imperfection. You see, we don't see that. But when we begin to see humanity as one, we begin to see that this person and this person, we are all the same. We come from the same source. Then this separation will begin to end. You will begin to defeat the ego that creates all this because we embrace it so much. We embrace the ways of the ego so much. We have thrown away our humanity, our authentic self, and embrace the ego self so much that we don't even see, we don't even know which one we should, we don't even know anything about our humanity again. We don't know. We embrace the ego so much and we allow it to continue to separate us from our true selves, to separate us from our authentic self, to separate us from even our oneness, our humanity, and continue to embrace the ego the more. Well, it's important that we put away all these concepts that separate us, because what unites us is more important than what separates us. And when we are bringing all these things that tend to separate people, all these energies that separate us, all these words, things like this: judgment, condemnation, blame, and criticism, they are the things, four things that always create division, create separation, tear people down and disempower them. And that's why they are destroyers of every relationship. I hope we'll put away all these things, begin to understand it, that whatever it is, we can always, there's always a way of looking at it. Not at that, looking at it in a judgmental level, or criticizing it, or condemning it. No, that we can also look at it in another perspective. Maybe when we have some this thing that is before us, we should always ask ourselves why that thing is there. Everything exists for a reason. Why it's there? Is it there for a lesson? Is it there for some people to learn some things? Is it there to evolve us? If only we can find the reason why it's there, then we'll begin to help ourselves evolve. We'll begin to help ourselves, you know, and come back to this oneness and embrace more of our humanity. I hope that helps. Love you guys.